Good morning, Margaret. So what can you tell me? What would you suggest? What do they need to do?
Well, I'll tell you a couple of things I've done. I've had my central heating disconnected.
Disconnected?
Yep. Central heating is the most stupid and ridiculous way of heating a house. It wastes an enormous amount of energy. You switch your heating on, it takes ages before you feel any heat. And all that time, power is being used.
So what would you do instead? I mean, you're going to live it. You might as well live in a cave.
No, I heat the room that I'm using with a very efficient convector heater. I only heat and light the room that I'm in. I don't heat the rest of the house. Why should I? Upstairs is always warm because heat rises. And if I go into another room, I put another heater on and then turn it off again. This business of everybody thinking they've got to have central heating, it's ridiculous. You don't.
Okay.
You can heat your home.
But then what happens to the bills? Because I'm assuming that then, so if you switch your heating off, but then doesn't your heating do the same thing? So my heating does my hot water and my heating.
No, I've got a separate, what you call an immersion heater for the hot water.
But are they efficient?
It's more efficient than these blinking, what you call them? What about
blinking what you calls?
Can't think of the word.
Boilers.
These latest boilers, which are horrendously expensive to run and to have installed. Another big thing to say, and people won't like this, but I manage happily with ordinary Freeview television. I don't have Sky or any of these other things. They are expensive.
So I guess you must be tuned into Channel 237.
I am tuned in, and it's very good too.
Very good too, isn't it? I mean, look at that. I mean, we're radio on the telly.
There's plenty of choice on the television, and don't need these other things. They are something like £40 a month. That's £40 a month saved. Okay,
so all of these things, these are really helpful, Margaret, by the way, and thank you for sharing. But
you can save an enormous amount of money by cutting out things that you don't need. And I just recently bought myself some diamond earrings with money that I've saved.
I'm not sure necessarily that's going to be on the top of people's list of money to save. A few diamond earrings. Now, I've just been saving some money, and now I'm going to go and buy some diamond earrings. That's how to deal with the cost of living crisis, Margaret.
The thing is, James, the government has got to come up with a strategy, or they have no hope of winning the next election, which is only a couple of years off. They've got to solve this problem. And some of the things you were saying, I think, are very true. This windfall tax, it's a no-no. It's a knee-jerk reaction.
Because there is a big call for this. So demands for this windfall tax, it's on the front page.
They're not thinking it through, are they, the people calling for it? As you said, they are not thinking it through. And the unintended consequences would be much worse. But things like the things the government can control, like cutting VAT, making sure that firms pass on the cut to the public, which didn't happen. They took some money off petrol. Didn't get passed on, as far as I can see.
You see, that was the other thing, isn't it? That the government can spend all this money and spend all this time and, as you say, not pass it on. Margaret, thank you so much for calling. Lovely to chat to you this morning. Thank you. I'm sure we'll speak again. So that's Margaret in South Wirral with some ideas that you won't necessarily want to hear, but saving those bills.
I feel a bit sad, pathetic now because of what's going on in Ukraine. But, I'm on standard PIP. I'm disabled. I can't do a lot. And my car is about to die. Obviously, trying to save on benefits is impossible. And my fuel bill has gone from £78 to £218 a month. So, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place at the moment. And there's no help for me anywhere.
Can I ask you, and thank you, genuinely thank you for phoning. I said at the beginning of the show, I listened to Mike speaking to a whole load of people today because I want, especially all these people who think London is the be-all and end-all, I want people to try and understand the reality of this cost of living crisis. And we throw it out there every day and people go, for you, you just said something. You're in a disabled allowance. There's no chance for you on benefits to save, let alone make ends meet. Your fuel bill has gone up to 220 quid a month. How do you think, right? Obviously, you look at Ukraine and you feel bad about that, but you hear, as you would do, you hear Boris Johnson giving 300 million there, probably quite rightly. You see the situation with immigration. You've heard me probably bang on every day saying we should look after our own, and I get slaughtered for it. What do you think about the approach? What would you say to the British people? What do you want from your government?
Well, I would like to be able to leave my house would be a good start. I mean, I pay for my own car. Apparently, I'm not disabled enough to get Motability. So I got to buy my own car, which is now an old banger. It's costing more and more and more because it's obviously wearing out, needs repairs, blah, blah, blah. And so that is about to die. And from that, I am literally isolated. No family, nothing. Literally isolated. And especially because the fuel price has now gone up. It's ridiculous. My life is just... I can't say it on air. But, yeah.
You can. Who do you blame?
The government. Well, I mean, not just this government. I mean, any government. I mean, I'm disabled, but I can walk to my front door. Therefore, I'm not entitled to the car.